The Daily Mail has spent years turning Meghan Sussex into a spectacle. So, forgive me if I'm not impressed when they suddenly want applause for compassion. Because this time, instead of targeting Meghan directly, one of their writers chose something else, her father's hospital bed. That's not growth. That's a change in angle. And it's still unethical. The article presents itself as sensitive, human, restrained. But that image collapses almost immediately. The writer tells us she promised not to reveal a private letter sent to Thomas Markle. She stresses confidentiality, discretion, trust. And then she writes an entire article built around that moment. Here's the thing. You don't have to quote a private letter to violate privacy. You don't have to publish the words to publish the damage. When you describe the delivery, the tension, the fear, the legal concerns, and the emotional aftermath, you've already crossed the line. That's not protecting someone's privacy. That's packaging it. What's being sold here isn't information. It's intimacy. The reader is invited into a hospital room, into moments of vulnerability, into family trauma that was never meant for public consumption, all under the banner of responsible journalism. Then comes the denial. After Reuters publishes a statement from the Sussexes raising concerns about boundaries, access, and bedside presence, the response is simple. The claim is called false. But look at what's actually described. Time spent at the bedside, observation of medical distress, exposure to legal discussions, first-hand witnessing of private family communication. That's not distant reporting. That's involvement. And involvement eliminates neutrality. The real purpose of the article becomes clear with one sentence. A question framed not as curiosity but judgment. Why didn't Meghan do the same? That question tells you everything. This was never about concern for Thomas Markle. It wasn't about reconciliation. And it certainly wasn't about ethics. It was about demanding a public display of devotion from a woman who has learned the hard way that proximity to tabloids comes with consequences. Every time Meghan has engaged privately, it's been turned into content. Every moment of access has been repackaged, sold, and weaponized. Distance isn't cruelty. It's self-preservation, and then we reach the ending. The writer positions herself not as a reporter but as a potential sacrifice. Someone willing to step aside so father and daughter might reunite. That isn't observation. That's insertion. Journalists don't get to mediate family relationships. They don't get to frame themselves as moral intermediaries. And they don't get to publish pain while claiming emotional detachment. Once you become part of the story, you lose the right to pretend you're just documenting it. This article isn't about healing, and calling it journalism doesn't change what it is.